So like we're a distributor that we don't do a lot of contracted business. So we don't have a quotations department, we don't have the whole project thing. Unless we bid your projects, you probably would you not give us a chance at just your everyday?
What are you selling? What are you selling?
I'm selling.
No, what as a distributor?
So industrial.
You're doing the same thing that Gray Bar Bricks selling?
Yeah, sure. But we don't we don't bid big projects.
So what's your specialty?
Industrials, automation.
Okay, so are you internet based? I mean, how do you go to market?
Well, we go to the industrial account, the machine builders, the industrials, and we've got specialists, and so we just know our products and how we can automate that customer.
I got you. Okay, so you're a specialty. Do you deal, and you also do wastewater type stuff?
Well, we'll do not a lot of that. I mean, it's OEMs. Like I said, it's industrials. And we're not dealing with contractors.
Do you want to?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. How do we get into that market? And if I have an interest in doing that,
is there growth opportunity?
Yeah, is there a chance to do that? And because I know it's different. It's totally different than what I'm doing now.
Okay, let me take a scenario here. All right, so I know you're a specialty house, okay, and you do some research on me. You find out, oh, hey, Greenway does a lot of control stuff. They do a lot of industrial stuff. Maybe I should check these guys out. So here again, you go back. You've done the research on me. You come to me. You say, look, I have product specialists. I have engineer on staff. Would you consider using me? If you know that I'm already using that type of product, you come in, you tell me what your specialties are, because I want to use people that have specialties. You tell me you have that, I'll give you a shot. But just be really direct on what you have to offer.
Well, and it sounds like you, in this case, what's going to get your attention most is something specific and new that he brings to the party as opposed to...
Well, if he's got specialty people, he's got resources technical resources that I need, yes, I will consider it.
In certain areas you need absolutely need help. Okay.
It's just the same as a distributor hiring an engineer. It's something of that.
Because I always wondered if does a contractor expect me to, bid all these projects? Well, I just can't.
You can't do that. Right. We can't do that either. I mean, we have plenty of practice.
Let me get Scott's perspective on this too, because the basic question was, first of all, do you share Michael's philosophy of working with, smaller, a more contained group of distributors? And then if so, then how does a new distributor get your attention and get your business?
Well, I kind of agree with Michael to an extent. We don't want to do business with everybody in town because there are just too many people, and not all the supply houses can cater to the needs that we have, being an industrial electrical contractor. So there's two or three, probably three main guys that I use in town. And then there's a couple others just for specialty stuff that we'll go and use. But as far as getting in to see me to become one of our distributors, it's tough, like you said. It's because a lot of times I'm pretty well taken care of, so I don't really have a need for another guy. So unless you have something that really, like Michael was saying, if you come in with a product or even an extra service that you can do for our company, then I'm not opposed to giving a guy a chance. And I'll even go as far as to, if I have say a material order to fill, I might give you a shot to quote it and just see where you guys are at, what you can do, to see if you're in the game with the rest of the guys that I normally deal with. So that's kind of how I look at it.
And then what's the preferred level of frequency of someone touching you? I mean, is it every couple of weeks you want to hear from them, or once a month, or? The
guys we have a couple guys that they just have their routine. They come by once a week, and it's every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. You'll see that salesman from that distributor. Most of the guys, I tell them, I really don't need to see you that often. if you're in the neighborhood and you want to swing by, stop in. If I got some time, then I'll, let you back and we'll talk and see what's going on. Or if I need some help with something, I'll call you and say, hey, can you stop by? We got this project. We'd like for you to bid at it or, work on that with us. So it's, it depends on most of the vendors that I deal with are usually every week, every couple weeks. There's some that I don't ever hear from unless I call them, which they probably are missing out on a lot of business by not calling on me. So.
Well, and I was talking to a contractor at the Eastern region, and he was saying that the way that somebody gets into his business eventually, and it's a long-term process, as he said, eventually the people that I'm using are going to screw up. I mean, because that's what happens in business. Eventually we all screw up. And he said, and I need to know who to call when I have a problem. Business doesn't stop. So, I think there's merit in just kind of continuously knocking at the door, because eventually you're going to need something from somebody. And
It's good to be persistent, that's for sure.
Yeah. What about our distributors up here? I mean, how do you guys break into the business with new contractors?
So, Jen.
So they learned my little secret in the morning session. When I grab my mic and pull it down here, it means I'm ready to say something. So anyway, I think the key is when you go see a customer, know what you're good at, know what separates your company from other companies, because different companies have different strengths and weaknesses, and invest in different areas of their business, whether it's technical support, inventory, being the low price or a low operating cost company or whatever it is, and there's nothing wrong with any of them. Whatever it is that makes you special, so to speak, make sure everybody knows that when they walk in the door. It may seem obvious, but you start just walking in the door and asking for an order. First thing I'd ask somebody, and by the way, I'm being on the supplier side or on the supplier relations side, looking at the same things now, I'm asking our company what they're looking for. But when a guy walks in the door, and wants your business and you haven't seen him before, I want to know what separates him from the guys I'm already doing business with. Is it more of the same? Is it he's just hoping to catch me on a bad day or a good day or whatever? So, I really think that that's just incredibly important. What is your core competency? What makes you special? If you don't know, you're probably not going to, in my opinion, you're probably not going to succeed.
Excellent. Yeah. Go ahead, Tim.
My suggestion for you would also be to go see 4 or 5 people that you think you might want to do business with. Ask them to show you around their business. Get to know what they do, and look at what they're doing and their procedures and their processes and what they're building, what they're doing, to analyze where would you have a fit. Because I think that sounds to me kind of what you're trying to figure out is what kind of fit can I have. And I think once you figure that part out, you'll be able to then put together your strategy to go to market. That way, when you go in, it's not, hey, give me a chance, and then they're throwing stuff at you that you don't want to do. Instead, you know what you're all about, and you've got your focus.
Good.
Which it sounds like you're working on.
Gentleman in the back of the room, you've got a question. If you wouldn't mind just saying who you are and who you're with.
Hi, I'm Scott Rolo with Consolidation Electric Supply. This is for Michael and for Scott. And I'm talking about your business purchases. What percentage of your purchases do you buy online? And of that, what percentage do you buy from Amazon.com?
We had a little robust conversation about that this morning as well. It seems to be on everybody's mind.
You go, Scott.
Well, I don't, the only thing that I would buy online is something that I can't get locally, or something that's specialized that I would have to buy through like a Grainger or an Amazon. But most of the time I don't have to do that. So pretty much 100% of the stuff that I buy is from a local distributor here. Just because I think it's the relationship thing where, if they have it in stock and they've been taking care of us and I know I can go get it, then that's the way we would prefer to do it. I know everything's going to online, and the age that we're in with electronics, it's coming to that, but K&F's not there yet.
Okay.
I'll answer that. I'm going to go to the easel. All right. I did this before, but entities that operate the company. This is how my business is ran.
Make it as big as you can, so I can see it in the back.
Or service on one side.
And speak up, because now you're not facing.
I got you. And we're projects. Service. My guys, we give them a time. We give them all smartphone, okay? And it is service. When you get called out for a service call, you're on the clock, whether you have to go to the parts house or not. So, my guys, if they're at a bottling plant or they're looking at a piece of equipment, they immediately will probably go to a Grainger or Amazon supply to figure out what it is. They may cut and paste it, send it to the distributor and say, hey, can you get this? Because they realize it's a square deal product or maybe an eat product. If the distributor can't help them out, I give them autonomy. They can send it to Grainger and do it that way. Okay? It's a very small, online purchasing is a small portion of it, of our business, but it is growing. And as websites get better, we do more of it. And Grainger and Amazon are great reference points, a place to start. Project side, no, we don't do online buying. I mean, if we, as Scott mentioned, if we need a specialty breaker that nobody can give me, I have to do it. I have to do it from eBay or whoever. But for the most part, online purchasing is here on the service side, and I even do it. I would say the percentage is probably under 10%, but it's growing. So as websites get better, we do more.
So on the project side, the value, what you need from a distributor is...
That's it. Over here, here's where the distributor is invaluable to a contractor. First of all, you guys, you're the channel of the market, so you may rep Square D, you may rep E. I know that, so I'm going to go to you for that. So I go to you for knowledge. I'm also going to go to you, especially if you're one of my 2 preferred vendors. You are my bank. And some people get offended about that, but it's true. I need you guys for a couple reasons. I need you, whenever we're struggling to get payment from an owner or a rep or whoever it is, and we have to get our terms extended out. Hell, one of our own customers, I don't know what to say, but Lockheed Martin, they don't pay for shit. And we have to go back to you guys and say, look, we need help here. And you guys are gracious enough to help us. You also, if we're on a large project, one of our distributors will house the material for us. You guys have valuable things to offer for us, which you should get a little bit more margin for. But go back to your point, though, there's not much on the internet side there. I need you guys. I need to be able to talk to somebody. And at the end of the day, you might call the agent or the manufacturer's rep or even whoever it is and say, look, we need to make a joint call, go out and look at this because we're not getting anywhere.
What about safety? I mean, isn't there a trust factor that goes along with working with your distributor relative to the knowledge of that you're getting those safe, right products that you know aren't going to cause a fire, an electrical fire in installation or something? I mean, that...
Yeah, that's another good point. Whenever we buy from you guys, we know we're buying UL-listed products. We know we're buying a product that has a warranty backed by a good manufacturer. Now, going back to the online thing, that's where it changes. Property management companies, after the job's done, the bill is billed, property managers don't care about that. They're going to buy offshore online products. They stick it in any light socket they can find, any switch they can find. And that's where you and I are missing out. And that's where the Amazons come into play. I'm not saying there's not selling UL business stuff, but I'm just saying online buying, it's sketchy. It is sketchy. And well, it can be. It's also another point about that is you don't read in the paper all the time that stuff's breakdown, rolling up, because these property managers are buying offshore stuff. A lot of offshore stuff is pretty good.
Did we answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Do you guys, anybody else have any perspective to weigh in on any of that?
My viewpoint on online buying and selling is a lot more of a challenge for our industry, in that we have, all of us, from the contractor, the distributor, the manufacturer, have got to do a much better job of going to market. If you look at right now, if I go up to the counter and one of my guys is helping these guys, I can guarantee if they're trying to find product, the first place they pull up is Amazon. And maybe the next one might be Google. And what's happening is, as a manufacturer, they're displacing the manufacturer's websites down to where you're second, maybe third page frequently now. So they're going to their site. We're not even able to get to your site as a manufacturer immediately anymore. So that's where they're getting the information. Now, frequently that works and frequently it doesn't. But my point is, both at the distributor side and the manufacturer, we've got to do a better job of presenting ourselves in that medium. So whether we sell through that medium or not, we got to realize that's where people get their information from. It's not catalogs anymore, it's online. And so that's kind of my challenge, is we've got to look at that and do a better job of it.
Well, I find it interesting. I don't disagree with you at all, and I found it interesting that Michael was saying that his guys will go to online and then cut and paste and then send it to their distributor. So they're almost looking at it as a library of inventory and just, this is what I need. So they're using those sites and those apps, but not for purchase, just for information and data, really,
A lot of things get lost in translation, and that happen. Everybody has been here. You tell somebody you want something, and then they get it, and you're like, no, that's not what I asked for at all. If you send a picture with a really good description, that clears up a lot, because electrical is full of slang names.